Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling some really interesting source material that you, our listener, sent over.
Yeah, it's all about this platform, Neuron 5.0.
Right, and the sources we have, they describe it as something designed to, well, seriously boost productivity, spark innovation, and basically help drive success.
Exactly. We've got two main documents we're looking at. One's called the Notes Guide.
Okay.
That really gets into the weeds on features, the Markdown editor, how linking works, the AI stuff.
And the second one?
That one's titled Revolutionize Your Workflow. It's broader. Covers organization tools, connectivity, pricing, the bigger picture.
Got it. So our mission today for this deep dive is to really unpack all of that. We'll pull out the key bits, the important nuggets, so you can get up to speed quickly on what Neuron 5.0 actually offers.
It's all good.
Okay, let's dive in. Where should we start? Maybe the absolute core, how you actually take notes.
Yeah, let's do that. So the foundation is definitely note-taking. It uses a pretty rich Markdown editor.
Okay, Markdown. Familiar territory for many.
Right. And a key thing the sources mention is this live preview. So as you type the Markdown, you see the formatted version right away.
Oh, nice. Like a split screen or toggle?
Yeah, you can toggle between the edit mode, the raw stuff, and the preview, how it looks.
It supports the basics. Headings, bold, all that.
Yep, all the standard stuff is there.
Yeah.
Headings with a hash symbol, bold, italics, inline code using backticks, code blocks with triple backticks, lists unordered, and ordered links, block quotes. Pretty comprehensive base.
So you're not learning a whole new system just for basic formatting, which is good.
Definitely helps you get started quickly. But then it adds some more advanced layers for specific kinds of content.
Like what?
Well, for technical folks, there's LaTeX support for math and chemical equations.
Oh, okay. That's pretty significant.
Yeah, the source shows examples like, inline equations, EMC2SI or SQRT2 plus 1 order, and block equations on their own line, like sum mi light sum ni n plus 1.
That's handy. And chemical formulas.
Simple ones, yeah. Uses a tilde for subscripts. So H2O just becomes HUO.
Neat. A small thing, but saves time.
It does. And then there's something a bit more maybe unexpected. Music notation.
Music, really?
Yeah, using ABC notation. The source gives this example structure, X.1, then T my favorite tune, M44, and so on. There's even a preview music button for a text version.
Huh. Okay, so they're really trying to accommodate different types of information.
Seems like it's not just text. And then there's task management built right in, too.
How does that work? Inside the notes.
Yep. Uses GitHub-flavored Markdown tasks. So dash, square bracket, space bracket for an open task.
And X for done.
Exactly. And the cool part, according to the source, is that these are interactive in the preview. You click the checkbox.
And it updates the Markdown automatically.
That's what it says.
Yeah.
Updates in the background makes checklists really practical within your notes.
So looking at just this basic note-taking foundation, it feels like they're aiming for versatility, right? Basic text, sure, but also code, math, tasks, even music.
Yeah, it seems the goal is a flexible canvas for structuring all sorts of information right from the start.
Okay, so you've got these potentially rich notes, but the real power usually comes from connecting them, doesn't it?
Absolutely, and the sources definitely focus on that. The main way is through wiki-style links.
Just double square brackets, like note title.
Precisely. Type that, it becomes a link. If the note title exists, click it. You go there.
And if it doesn't?
Click the link and bam, it creates a new note with that title and takes you straight to it.
That makes it really fluid to just link ideas as you think of them, even if the destination note isn't written yet.
Exactly. Capture the connection first. Then, for maybe quicker, looser connections, they mention inline hashtags.
Just hashtag year tag, no spaces.
Right. Hashtag year tag. The source says they get styled visually in the preview so they stand out. Easy tagging.
Okay, those are fairly standard ways to connect things. Anything more advanced?
Oh, yeah. This is where I think it gets really interesting based on the source material. Block referencing.
Block referencing, what's that?
It lets you embed a specific paragraph or line from one note directly into another note.
Wait, not just link to it, but embed the actual content.
Yes. So in the source note, you mark the block you want to reference. You just add, your block it at the very end of the line. Say, this is a key definition, def 1.
Okay, so you label the block.
Right. Then, in another note, you reference it using source note title def 1.
And what happens in the preview of that note?
The source says the actual content, this is a key definition, appears embedded right there. And it includes a little link back to the original source block.
Whoa. Okay, so if I update the original definition...
It should update everywhere you've referenced that block. That's the implication. It's dynamic.
That's huge. You could build documents by assembling pieces from other notes, maintain a single source of truth for key facts or ideas.
Exactly. It moves beyond simple linking. It's about composing with reusable blocks of knowledge. The source definitely highlights this as a powerful feature.
I can see why. Okay, what else for connecting and structuring? Attachments.
Yeah, file attachments are mentioned. PDFs, images, documents, you can add them via a button.
And link to them in notes.
Yes, using attachment-filename.ext. The source says this shows up as a little visual chip link.
And images. Can you embed them?
The syntax is .image-filename.png, but the source notes that, at least in the prototype they looked at, this only stored the file name and type. It didn't actually upload the image content, just showed a placeholder.
Ah, okay. Good clarification. Maybe local file linking in that version.
Could be something to keep in mind.
All right, so with all these notes, links, maybe even block references, it could get complex. How do you visualize it?
There's a graph view. The source describes it as an interactive visualization.
Nodes and edges.
Exactly. Nodes and folders are nodes. Connections, like the wiki links or just notes being in the same folder, are the lines, the edges.
And you can interact with it.
Yeah. Click a node, open the node, drag nodes around, zoom in, pan out. Standard graph controls.
That kind of visual overview. I wonder, how does seeing your knowledge laid out like that actually change how you interact with it or understand it?
That's a great question the source implicitly raises. Instead of just lists and folders, you see the web. You might spot clusters of related ideas, or maybe find notes that are totally isolated, not connected to anything.
So it could help you find gaps or maybe spark new connections just by seeing the structure.
That seems to be the idea. A different way to navigate and explore, potentially leading to new insights.
Okay, so we've got rich notes, powerful linking, and visualization. But you mentioned the sources also talk about more structured data and productivity tools.
They do. It's not just about free-form text. They detail something called data tables.
Okay, different from just making a table in Markdown.
Yeah, these sound more like mini databases within the system.
Mhm.
Customizable tables for structured info. You can edit cells in line, add or delete rows and columns on the fly.
More dynamic than a static Markdown table.
Definitely. And you can apparently even convert a Markdown table into one of these data tables.
Interesting. Any special features for these tables?
The source mentions specialized column types. There's one called publish status that uses editable tags. Another, AI tags, gets automatically populated by AI based on the rows content.
AI tagging individual rows in a table.
And a schedule send time column with a date picker noted specifically for triggering outgoing webhooks based on table data.
Webhooks linked to table rows.
Okay.
That opens possibilities.
It does. And the source mentions a contacts or CRM overview page that's actually built using these data tables. So they seem pretty flexible.
What's really fascinating there is bringing that structured data capability right next to your notes and ideas. It blurs the lines.
It really does.
Yes.
And there's a whole suite of other tools bundled under what the source calls an integrated productivity hub.
Like what kind of tools?
Things you might expect in separate apps, but integrated here. Workspaces, for example.
To keep different projects or life areas separate.
Exactly. Managed with a drop-down switcher, inline renaming, standard stuff, but useful. Then folders for organizing notes with drag and drop. A tabbed interface, so you can have multiple notes open at once.
Essential for comparing or working across notes.
Right. And Kanban task boards.
Ah, so visual project management, Trello-style boards.
Seems like it. Inline editable lists and cards for tracking tasks and workflows right within Neuron.
So notes, data tables, and Kanban boards.
And more. There's a daily journal and calendar feature.
For daily reflections.
Yeah. You pick a day, write your entry. The calendar highlights days with entries. And interestingly, below the entry for a day, it lists notes worked on this day.
Oh, so it links your journal to your actual work.
Seems so. It shows notes last updated on that specific date with clickable links to jump right to them. Connects reflection to activity.
That's a nice touch. Anything else in this productivity hub?
Just one more small thing mentioned, a study timer.
Like a Pomodoro timer.
Yeah, described as a draggable, floating Pomodoro-style timer you can access right from the main dashboard header for focus sessions.
Simple, but having it integrated could be handy. Avoid switching apps.
Exactly. So taken together, these features show Neuron 5.0 really pushing to be more than just notes. It's aiming for project management, data handling, daily tracking, focus tools, all integrated.
It's trying to be a central work hub built around that core knowledge base. Yeah, but with all this stuff accumulating notes, tasks, data finding things must be critical. How's the search?
The sources highlight semantic search.
Meaning AI-powered.
Correct. There's a search bar in the main dashboard header. It searches across all your notes, but based on meaning and context, not just matching exact keywords.
So you can ask more natural questions or search for concepts.
That's the idea. Find relevant stuff even if you don't remember the precise phrasing you used. Should make discovery much better in a large knowledge base.
Definitely. If we sort of zoom out and connect this to the bigger picture, the sources paint Neuron as this potential central hub. Connectivity must be part of that.
Absolutely. And they mention webhooks, both incoming and outgoing.
So you can push data in from other services?
Yeah, incoming webhooks can process text or even data table rows sent from elsewhere. And outgoing webhooks lets you send notes or specific data table rows out to other tools or services.
That really enables automation and integration with a wider ecosystem? What about just getting notes in and out manually?
Standard import-export is covered too. You can import Markdown files. The source specifically mentions compatibility with Notion exports.
Good to know. And exporting.
You can export individual notes as Markdown MD or PDF via the print function. And you can export your entire workspace as a zip file.
What's in the zip?
All your notes as individual .md files and your data tables as JSON files. Seems like a pretty complete backup or migration path.
Okay, good data portability. Now, you mentioned AI for search. Are there other AI superpowers, as the source might call them?
Yeah, they use that term. Several integrations right in the note-taking flow. AI Summarize is one.
Just click a button and get a summary of the current note.
Sounds like it. Quick way to get the gist. Then there's AI Compose.
Let me guess. It helps you write.
Pretty much. You give it a prompt, and based on the note's current content, it can help continue writing or generate new text sections, like an AI writing assistant built in.
Could be useful for overcoming writer's block or expanding on ideas.
We touched on this with data tables, but there's also a general auto-tagging feature mentioned for notes.
The AI suggests tags when you save.
Yeah, automatically generates relevant tags based on the note content. Helps with organization without you having to manually tag everything.
Using AI for search, summarization, composition, tagging, it makes sense. Leveraging the tech to handle the information overload within the tool itself?
That seems to be the goal, according to the sources. Make managing and creating knowledge more efficient.
All right, so we have a pretty good picture of what Neuron 5.0 is based on these documents.
Yeah.
How do people actually get access? What's the cost?
The sources mentioned the usual website buttons: get started, learn more, sign up now, explore features. Pretty standard.
And the pricing.
They outline 3 tiers, described as simple and transparent. There's a free plan.
$0 a month. What does that get you?
1 workspace, a limit of 100 notes, and 25 AI usages per month. It also lists webhook integrations and, interestingly, unlimited everything.
Hold on, unlimited everything, but with limits on notes and AI.
Yeah, that phrasing in the source is a bit ambiguous. It probably means unlimited for features not explicitly capped, maybe the number of webhooks or something, but the source presents it that way for the free tier.
Okay, noted. What's the next tier?
Standard. This one's a $150 one-time payment.
One time, not subscription.
That's what the source says. One-time payment. It gives you 5 workspaces, bumps the limit to 1,000 notes, and 100 AI usages per month. Also includes webhooks, and again, lists unlimited everything.
Same ambiguity there. Okay, and the top tier?
Premium. Also a one-time payment, $300.
And what does premium offer?
This tier lists unlimited workspaces, unlimited notes, and unlimited AI usages per month, plus webhooks and all features included.
So the unlimited seems more straightforward at the premium level. The one-time payment model is definitely noteworthy.
It is. Stands out from the usual SaaS subscription model. So those tiers give you a sense of the scale it's aimed at, from free trial users up to presumably heavy individual users or maybe small teams covered by the premium tier.
Right. Okay, so let's try to wrap this up. Based on everything in these source documents, Neuron 5.0 comes across as aiming to be quite comprehensive, doesn't it?
Definitely. Far beyond just a simple note app. It's integrating advanced note features, structured data via those data tables, project management with Kanban, the graph view visualization, that semantic search.
Plus the AI features woven throughout, and the connectivity with webhooks and import-export.
Yeah. Features like the graph view, that block referencing we talked about, the semantic search, the AI assistants, they all seem geared towards helping you connect ideas, manage complexity, and really grapple with information overload.
It really feels like it's striving to be a central platform for your thinking, your projects, your knowledge.
That's the picture painted by the sources, absolutely.
Yeah.
Which leads to, I guess, a final thought for you, the listener. Considering this range of features, Neuron 5.0 offers especially for connecting, organizing, visualizing, retrieving information. Think about that block referencing, the AI search. How might tools like this fundamentally change not just how you take notes or manage your tasks?
But how you actually learn and think, especially in a world where information just keeps accelerating.
Exactly. Something interesting to mull over.